one of the things that you did that was so great, and I'm going to come back. So you talk about the lady with whom you were, but what I want to highlight is that you did not just go and talk to that center. You also spoke with members of the Nigerian community, the village. I actually saw you with was he the chief?
Yeah, we visited at least 3 chiefs of 3 different villages in the local government area in Akwa Ibom. So these are chiefs that chiefs in villages where we have our refugees. So we decided to do them.
They will always present their challenges to me.
Yeah.
So
that's why we came, Chief. We know that you have been doing a lot for our people, but we are trying to see how we can look for solutions. And like we spoke last time, the idea should be whatever we are doing, also the community should benefit. We have not brought any real project now or any real thing, but we just come to say we are committed. Yeah, and a special group has sent me to say thank you to you. They call them Southern Cameroon's Alliance. Yeah, that is a group, another organization of many other smaller organizations. Yeah, so they said I should greet you. You see, we are taking it already, so we are replacing it a little bit with some double of it. There's also a nice vitamin there for you.
Oh, okay.
And this is also for your people.
Okay.
Just a token of appreciation. So, Southern Cameroon Alliance send their greetings, and they will see what they can do to keep on supporting you as you are supporting our people. It's a long way to go, but we are seeing what we can do. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so very much. I'm happy. I'm very happy about that. I'm delighted that you have to be considered in my absence.
You're setting an incredible example about how to network even for our refugees. It sounded like he was very happy that they are hosting them and that you came. And it looks to me like he's looking forward to working with you again. I saw that you also brought gifts to him.
Yes, this was a particular mission from the Alliance, because when I was going, they said, okay, it's good to visit, especially our vulnerable people there, those who cannot work, who cannot do anything. But let's try to see if we can also meet the chiefs of these villages, taking care of them, especially because of the controversial things that are happening with us and in Nigeria, where we have one of the frontline leaders who made this controversial statement that we are for Biafran, and the area in which our refugees are living, they are not really true Biafran, as I can assess it, you know. So this was very controversial, and our refugees had a lot of difficulties because of this statement. So it was important to reassure these chiefs that we are not there to go against the Nigerian law. We are there to keep, we are grateful that they are taking care of our people. And so Alliance gave some little present for me to give to them, just to appreciate them, not to pay them, but just to appreciate them. And this really worked very well, because some of the chiefs are really actively trying to help our people. For instance, one chief, the very old chief, I'm sure you saw the village, in the village, who was not so well, he gave at least 2 hectares of land to our refugees.
Okay, we are here at the Celebrium going to the farm. To go as a farm, there you have the surveyor. So we are in the bush now. So we are going to the farm. Done. Going to the farm to go and see the farm. Farm 1, farm 2.
watching people from a window, chatting to each other, watching children skipping with smiles on their faces, watching women walking with their heads in the sky. They don't care, damn. They don't realize that our world is late, that the world will soon be coming to an end. But when the time has come to go, and suddenly you feel lost, people take courage in your arms and make a path for yourself. Just look forward, don't look back. Everything will be alright. You've got to get away, you've got to go. No time to stop to say goodbye. Though it's late, there is a chance. Though it's late, there's a chance. Take a step, take a step, take a step, take a step to a new destiny.
The CSO, the Southern Cameroon Civil Society Organization, paid for the siblings and gave some little compensation for the piece of land.
And they send that money so we go get that farm for that's them.
Yes.
So you don't come for can visit, can see you for thank you plenty. So what you do for our people in here. All that money you can get chop for here, come go for that farm, that they be send them.
Yeah, the people where they be do that farm, they call and say CS Society Network. So they do the same salon, but today there's some special other group don't salon.
Okay, yes. Other group now we don't hear about you. I don't hear about what you don't do for our people. They call they say Southern Cameroon Alliance.
Yes.
Now that group don't come today. They mean they can't tell you say thank you plenty for what you do for our people for here.
Yes.
But your people, my people.
Now true about your people, your people.
And in fact, I've seen people to say this like somebody calling for this to come. I plan to do something better for them still.
Amen.
More problem with that I call them like my people, I fight them.
Thank you.
Even the plan for one time can come there. I fight them. And in fact, he was very interested on what I was trying to do with them.
Wow.
So I always been thinking of you. I said, no, God one day bring you safely. Sickness or anything, not of what you are praying in the name of Jesus.
Amen. Okay.
And that might be good.
That pastor.
They been come. They don't send them back and get transferred different way. They send him to Lagos.
Oh, you don't go to Lagos now, pa?
They could go back to Lagos. He said, maybe go take one big birthday.
Oh, that God is good.
Promotion.
Boy, I had intelligence. He did do something. So the European came when they come.
Oh.
They say, well, I started to you.
And
one day, it will come. When it comes, it will come here.
That's God's blessing.
Where, Papa?
Well, thank you. Yeah, so we are sitting here with Chief Alfred. Chief Alfred, yes. Chief Alfred is the clan head of the Sinibu.
No, how they call it this one?
The family head and village head to be.
The village head of
How they call this place?
village
He gave it just to help our people. So this particular year, they had lots of cassava coming out from that farm, vegetable, cocoa yams. Even when I went there, I could not visit the farm, but we had a lot of pictures coming in. And so we need to appreciate them. And I was very happy that the Southern Cameroon Alliance noticed that it's important to appreciate this kind of work, and that was very good. Although CSO has done something there, that is doing something there, but at least how we are all together, we are working as a people. And so what Alliance did, sending that money to appreciate this chief, or buying some present to appreciate this chief, was very, very useful, was good for our people to live in harmony with these people there in the villages, and for our people to also know that we care about their well-being. It's important for us to know that they are having a good relationship with the people taking care of them where they are living.
Yes, you know, you talked about AGOVC announcing that they have formed an alliance with iPod. That's who you're referring to. I want to address that a little bit. I think you used the word controversy. I think controversies, it's not a strong word enough. I think they are just wicked people who are seeking some special attention. All of it illegal, and not only our refugees paying for that, but also the whole of Ambazonia is paying for that, because they go around creating enemies for us. People say they work for the enemy. I'm beginning to believe that, because there's absolutely no reason why any Ambazonian organization should try to antagonize Nigeria. Because what they've done is push Nigeria into the hands of our enemies, into the hands of La Republique. I think last July they met and signed agreements that makes the lives of our people in Nigeria more difficult. I don't know what madness is driving them, but I can say for sure that it has nothing to do with the struggle of the people of Ambazonia, and any Ambazonian organization that is serious about our liberation needs to distance themselves publicly and disavow any association with AGOVC, because I think those people are wicked. They're working for some other person other than Ambazonia. I will say that here without mincing my words. But I really appreciate you going there as another ambassador, actually saying this is really who we are and this is who we care for. I really appreciate that. And I want to thank the Alliance for thinking for being that foresighted. I'm trying to see how you expand this kind of work. I don't know if you think I was going to ask you about your budget, and then how you expand this work to help more refugees in Nigeria. How many states are you operating in?
We are really mostly in Akwa Ibom, but most often we have given aid in most of the villages, like Oron, like Isinibium, with CSO working there. In where we have the training center is Miliato. We also have refugees in Oyo that we sometimes give them food, aid, or medication. We have at least 20,000 refugees living in Akwa Ibom, which means we can only do as much. We are unable to really take care of them.
I want you to kind of tell us what you would like to see happening in terms of the diaspora supporting that.
First of all, we can replicate this kind of programs, but in different directions, because everybody must not sew, everybody must not become a hairdresser or whatever. There are many other skills. For instance, what we were thinking to do in Oron was to do, when I was saying that we wanted to do something for boys, like Dr. Nzama could got a guy who can do rockets too. So if we can teach them rockets too, how to do real electrical work, because really it's difficult to really send them to to regular schools, but we do. There are some people who really want to go to regular school, and some really say that they would like to learn how to read and write, but they just want to learn something that can give them some living. You know, that's for them more important. So we can replicate such program, but we should make it, it should be a standard. Because what we have done in Yatok, the fact that the Nigerian Government Youth Service Center is existing, the fact that the UNCHR know that this is the kind of quality of work we are doing, that it's very possible that we are going to be giving a kind of permission to run such institutions. So we can standardize it, we can bring more of our people, and most importantly, we can start building the mindset of our people. Because I could not, I want to share with you a very successful result, successful program. We not just a program, but one success story. There is this lady who has 3 kids. We gave that lady, I think, 20 or 25,000 naira to learn how to do hair cream and body cream, just small cosmetic products. So she did the first one, put them in little plastic bags and sold them in the village market. Then came back to us and told us that she wants her products to have a name. She wants a brand. So we bought bottles, little bottles, put some brand, her name on it, and it looked very beautiful. This lady is sending her kids now to private schools in Nigeria. So what our people are gradually learning is that school is not just going to learn to read and write and then go to university, go to high school. You can combine a lot of things. They are beginning to learn to be practical, to do things that can provide them food, but we have to support it with going to school, having some basic education, because literacy is also not good. But what is literacy? It's not just learning, reading, writing, also other aspects, opening up, building up the mind, teaching them more about what is life, how do you deal with your next neighbor, how do you relate to people, how do you relate to your society, how is it important to not only work for yourself and your children, but also for your community, you know. So these are the kind of things we can make use of as diasporans to empower our people, so that when the day this war ends, we are going back home with some people who even have more to offer than what they ever had if they had stayed without this war.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, I mentioned that whole institution, that gathering, as a family now to some of the children who come there. And I noticed that there was one particular lady you were always with. It looks to me like that should be the mother of that whole thing. Who is she? Can you tell us a little more about her?
Yeah, Reverend really Miss Ojong. She is like the director of the center. She's married, and they also run a kind of Bible school in Nigeria. She and her husband, because her husband is a pastor. She's from Southern Cameroon, and she's been in Nigeria for long. She studied in Nigeria and living now in Oyo, in Akwa Ibom. She's really the mother of these girls. Most of even the curriculum of the school, she brought up the idea, and then we work on it, then look for the right materials and send it to her, who is that and my members of my organization here, African Diversity. So we put that curriculum together because of what she saw. She noticed that the girls were very depressed, and no matter how much she could teach them without working on their mind, without giving them some hope, without giving them some basic needs, nothing will change. So most of what we were doing came from her recommendation, and she is not just doing what she's doing, coordinating, being the director. She is really a mother to these girls. And she's so passionate about this work. And everything that's happening there is because of this personal touch that she has for these kids, or this love that she's showing. She will go to every length. If she notices that a Nigerian is trying to do anything to these girls that is bad, she will go to the police, she will do everything she has to do. She will run behind them if they don't come to school. She went and goes and look for them, look for means for them to have support for their kids so that they can come to school. Me, I don't know. I just don't know how to appreciate this woman. She's just a godsend to this community at this time. Yeah.
No, I could tell because you could see the joy in her. It was, like I said, it was a happy ceremony. I'm trying to compare this with another video that I saw a while ago, and our refugees were fighting for food. They were scrambling. This was a totally different picture of a community that is settled. They have programs. They have a diverse life, and I knew there was somebody like you just described who takes it very personal. I didn't ask anything about you. I just talked about your official titles, but obviously you're the same person. In it looks like the two of you are cut from the same cloth. So, and I know I kind of asked that question a little bit, but my goodness, a combination of you and her seems to really expand across the pond, so to speak, because you're in Germany, she's down there, she's doing it, and you're looking like a resource person for her somehow. And I think that's a very good partnership for the success of those children.
And I also want to add that most especially how you treat the people that work with you. So those guys, those teachers down there, feel also like family. They feel appreciated. It's really a lot of people, a lot of networking. The DAC members, the other, the CSO even has sponsored some activities there, all of this, and yeah, and really how you treat people. Yeah, I think she's really treating the people she's working with right, and we are also doing our best to keep the contact functional and respect, so it really works. Yeah.
Now I have a quick question for you, and this has to do with your role in Alliance, because obviously it looks like it was from what you told me, it looks like it was it's an organization that's adding to what you're doing, because they contributed to the efforts down there. So can you tell us a little more about the Alliance and your role and what made you look at it like an organization you want to be a part of?
Yeah, like the word is Alliance. Is more of different organizations trying to operate or coordinate, coming together to coordinate activities that can help us have better solutions for what we are going through now as Amazonians or Southern Cameroonians, maybe in aspect of advocacy, in aspect of diplomacy, humanitarian help, and any other thing that we think is important for us to solve, to look for solutions for our problem and bring this world to an end. Yeah, it can be very challenging, wearing too many caps. But I think it's all about how you organize yourself, how good you can organize yourself to participate in all of these activities. And I will not do something that I don't feel that is important or is good, and it can help take this struggle to another level. So I think so far what we have been trying to do, building up working groups, putting up working groups together that can be focused on doing particular projects, particular activities. I think this is the way to go. We have been running this revolution in a form of already a settled system with people having their positions and you need to respect this before you do this. But I think we are still at the stage where we need to be proactive, practical, just doing the work. And this is what Alliance want to do. If it is that we need to go to South Africa to do something, particularly there, we should have somebody in South Africa that can do it. If it's about going to Germany where I am, there should be somebody that can coordinate this activity. It can be another organization within our struggle or within our liberation, I don't know what's the best word to use here, within this, what we are, our fight, or it can be an individual. So this is the issue of Alliance, to bring up these different strengths that are existing already in our cause, in our revolution, to make the best out of it. Thank you.
Okay, you know, when I had Dr. Yak Maggie Kilo on this show, I did ask her what makes the Alliance relevant at this time in our struggle. Let me hear from you. Why is the Alliance relevant at this time in our struggle?
The Alliance is relevant because I don't want to say we are experiencing the kind of chaos, because that may be very negative. But I want to say that we have lots of good ideas, lots of good initiatives, many things that we have been doing in different organizations, but this is not yet well coordinated, because most of us are still thinking in this individualistic aspect that is like what is killing. I don't know, I don't want to say it's an African illness because that would be negative, but I want to say that our experience, the fact that we have had very little in life, the fact that we have been suppressed, the fact that we have been colonized, we always have this fear of losing something if we work with others. And most often, if you even when people even hear that Alliance is existing, they ask the question, why should Alliance exist when the government is existing? Why should Alliance exist when CDN is existing? So they never ask the question, what is it that CDN is doing, that the Alliance is doing, that CDN is not doing? Because that should be the question. What is it that the Alliance can do that the government cannot do? It's not doing, or not that it cannot, but at the moment, maybe they don't have the right persons to do it, or they haven't thought about this concept. What is it that we can bring in? Yeah, because what we are doing is so huge, and we need so many people on board, that those 10 groups of people with 10 people in their government or in their organization. I'm also a member of DAC, yeah. I see how limited we are. We can't do much. And I can see the limitation in every other group. There is no group that has proven that can do everything that we need to feed ourselves. So Alliance is that kind of a thing we need at this time, so that each group with their strength can contribute just what they can contribute, because each group has defined a certain thing, that a certain aspect that they are approaching. And so where there is this loophole, we have to come in to see how to put everything back in place. I can give you one very good example. Somebody just asked me of late, what can Alliance do when you are talking about diplomacy, advocacy? CDN is already doing it. Now, when I look at the tweets that go on the internet, I will see, for instance, a Nupiti's wife is caught. This is a woman that is being brutalized just because the husband is a liberation fighter. Nobody tweets about him, about her. Nobody tweets about her. So if me, Alliance, or other people, if I'm not saying that CDN is not doing their work, they are doing something very wonderful. But these things that are missing, who is going to do it if we fold our arms and say they are doing everything? We have people that have been taken away from Tonegi and are brought to set. They are being tortured there. No tweets about these people. The only place we see time and again is two ladies, they post, and sometimes they tweet about it. So these are things that are not being done. And now when you want to come in and say, okay, let's see how we can put ourselves together and start closing these holes, because our people are afraid to lose something, they start questioning. But this is the time that we must put our asses together, whether it's in the form of, that's what the alliance is offering, that we come together, look at what your strength and do what you can do, and let the others do what you cannot do. So it's very important at this time that we have the alliance.
Absolutely. As you were talking, I was thinking that, you see, people who are asking those questions are still thinking about, like you rightly say, people should be asking what is it that the alliance is all about, rather than trying to compare you with another organization, because I think you mentioned some. If you compare those two organizations, they're very different. I think CDN actually says that they are neutral. I don't know how anybody can be neutral when our people are being murdered left and right. So we need proactive organizations that are coming together to do some of the work that you're doing in Nigeria, and more, because look, I think everybody who knows me knows that I think that we are very disorganized right now, and this disorganization came from the vacuum that was created when Siseko Ayok Tabe and then Neraten was arrested. Ever since then, we've had AGOVC that takes our struggle and it becomes a joke for them. It becomes a place where they say anything without regard, and when anybody tries to caution them, they attack him. These are people who would rather arrest somebody driving a vehicle in the street with a family than go and attack the enemies that are rampant in our territory. So I think that there's a lot that is yet to be done. And I think that, if you ask me, I'll say we haven't replaced the situation that was existing in 2017 with Ayok Tabe as the leader. We haven't replaced that, because we are right now very dispersed. And so what I hear you saying is that you're bringing some of these dispersed interests or organizations together under a name called Alliance. I'm happy to hear that. Anything else you want to add, ma'am?
Yeah, just that we don't need to fear each other. We need to trust each other. And so long as the word is alliance, it means everybody is wearing their hats that they want to wear. And it's just a kind of collaboration, a kind of better coordination, and at the level where, because we are saying that that's what CDN is doing, I really want to really draw this difference. I see CDN doing something else, which is also very good for the struggle. I won't say that what they're doing is not right, but what their alliance wants to do is also very different. So what they are doing is coordinating, collaborating, yes, but at a different level. So we want to do the practical work, and nobody should do. There is no need to fear your brother without even talking to them, asking them what is it that you are bringing that is different. You first say, no, why should we, when there is the government? If the government had solved all of the problems, they will not need to be doing any other thing, because nobody wants to waste their time. So if we are still coming up with ideas like forming an alliance to cooperate, to coordinate, and carry this revolution to another level, is because we have noticed that there is something that is still missing. And until we reach the end, if the alliance is not able to solve this problem, maybe another organization will come up. So we are creating a solution, a base of a solution, not to destroy any existing organization, or to stop any organization from doing what we are doing, but to organize ourselves at a different level, not planning for going on negotiation, but planning on how we have to handle our daily activities. How do we communicate? How do we approach humanitarian needs, our humanitarian need, like we just asked, trying to standardize it? How do we start building for the future? What is it that we are having as an educational system? What are the policies? What are the things we want to do? Not neutral, putting us together to do it, but we putting ourselves and doing it actively.
Absolutely. Let me tell you something that is very positive about the name Alliance. You know, before I say it, let me tell everybody that there's an Amazonian organization called Menda Films. They've produced incredible documentaries about our history, the details. If you go on YouTube and you enter Menda Films, I think they have 6 episodes. I spent some time watching those episodes. They are very educative. And I tell you why I'm thinking about them now. I'm thinking about them now because when you talk about the alliance means that we should come together and work together. The reason why Ambazonia did not have its independence, or why we had a plebiscite that was asking us to have either be part of La Republic or be part of Nigeria, is because of the division that existed between our leaders at the time. And when you listen to some of these documentaries produced by Menda Films, you realize that instead of worrying about a country, Ndeli was worrying about winning an election and pushing the whole idea of joining La Republique in order to win some votes. And so the British took advantage of that and destroyed our country. Because of that decision, look, I know that people say that only 3,000 people have died. No. We started talking of 3,000 people on 1st October 2017. So we have 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021 is coming to an end. Everybody is still talking about 3,000 people killed. That's a joke. But I just want to let people know that look, I always like to use the numbers given by Cameroon military. Over 40,000 people have been killed. Over how many villages? Over 400 villages have been burned. Our people are now, I listened to an audio by somebody lamenting that our people have been, that we have over 1 million people in La République du Cameroon, and that La République du Cameroon is giving money for entrepreneurs to build schools for our children, and he's wondering whether we'll ever get those people back. So this is what we have lost. We've lost a country, we've lost billions of dollars in oil, in all the resources in Amazonia. Why? Because 2 politicians were arguing about votes, about who will win what. And I can tell you that the children and the extended family of these politicians are not benefiting anything from La République having taken over the country and start treating us like dogs. So I think this idea of alliance, I think that you guys should keep thinking the same way and expand it. And I would like to see it relevant in the diaspora. And I think that with people like you taking it to the ground. By the way, are you thinking of also taking this into the territory? Because I think some of our people are not only suffering in Nigeria, they're also in La République du Cameroon and in Ground Zero.
Yes, we also support some IDPs. We have also done a lot of work with IDPs, but we have a similar center in Boya, where most of the people, girls or people coming there are also IDPs. Our IDPs learning similar training, in Boya. So it's something to consider, but it's all about how best do we organize ourselves, and I think that even with Alliance putting all the groups and energy together, we may be able to do more to solve some of these problems. Yeah.
Absolutely. So when is your next trip to Nigeria, and what will be the budget so that we can already see if we can get Ambazonians in the diaspora helping you with that?
The project is it needs money every month, because you need to pay the teachers, you need to provide more food or some basic things for the girls' training or the children who are training there. So we are always needing donations, and we are also fighting in every form to get donations from Europeans more, so that it's less on our people, but it's really hard to handle it. And if we really have to do it right and we have to do more, then we need more people participating in donation.
That's wonderful. There's something that touched me during that event, and it was when you handed some gifts to the chief. It looks like it brightened up the whole house. Our African people, it's not the size of the gift, just the fact that you thought about giving them something, it's already a big thing. And I want to let you know that next time I will want to contribute something for that chief, because when you make your macro environment a healthy one, then everything else works well in the micro. So I will definitely want to be part of because it seems to me that he is also wanting to work with you more in an expanded way. So I think we should continue to encourage that.
Well, he was very open. He even said he understands what our people are going through, and that we have the right people have the right to determine how they want to live, and he doesn't understand why they should be killing our people. So yeah, without naming, giving out the name of that particular chief, but he seems to really like our people. And even in the Biafra community, there is ex-army officer who fought the Biafran war and fought for the side of Nigerians. But he grew up in Chico. He was born in Chico, and he grew up there. And he is the one providing water to the center. So we have such connections to these people of this area. Some of them are really, especially in their top, at least 50% of the family in that village, they have one person who has been in Amazonia or in Southern Cameroon. Yeah.
All right. I really appreciate you taking the time to come. I'm sure I'd love to do more shows, because that event touched my heart, and it's really a big positive in a time when we have a lot of doubts about what our future would be. So I want to thank you for joining me on the show. Anything else in closing?
Thank you so much that you are interested in the work we are doing, and that you are interested in knowing more about Alliance and about our humanitarian support or engagement. It was my pleasure. It's my pleasure to have been here today. Thank you.
My name is Monica. I am very, 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 very happy. As I say this thing, I'm happy. It's not small. As our mama said today, that this small thing is not small. It's very plenty to our eyes. So I want to tell the Southern Cameroon Alliance that we are very, very happy. May God continue to bless them, increase, and may God continue to bless this my mama. This one especially my mama. The glory. Go back to God in Jesus' name. Amen. So, thank you. You are there. Thank you.